So for this project, I have recorded videos as I progressed along, and I did so because I thought that it would be very interesting to do so, and I knew that this artwork project needed a lot of steps and progress. So Miss Kelly has provided a new project which was using words in art, and we already have practiced some of the skills that we can use in order to use words in art. But for this time, I wanted to be original and I wanted to be creative, so I thought of this project. So first, when I looked around, I have found out that letters could be found in real world that we are living in. So, for example, of this image, we can find H from the pink tumbler, and we can find U from this paper bag, and we can find Y from this blue tumbler. So I have taken more pictures and preparation. So I have taped on these images on top of the plastic paper, and I use tape to do so. So designing. So I drew the pictures on top of the plastic and I used my creativity and based on the inspiration that each images gave me. So for brainstorming, I'm now planning on finding words from each images and background painting. I have used acrylic paints to do so, and I have painted on the plastic, so it was a great challenge for me. And since I wanted to flip the plastic paper, so I learned that the bright color should go first before the dark paints, because when the bright color goes on top of dark paints, when you flip the plastic, the brighter color will not show up. So this was the one thing that I learned from this progress, and I thought it was very interesting. And the style of this acrylic paints changes every time by the images and it depends on the atmosphere of the images. So for this project, I focus on moving my ideas into an action more than making a pretty artwork, because I think artwork should be beyond looking good. And I think if I had focused on the outer look of the artwork, I would have regretted, because I thought that it was a good chance to show who I am through this artwork. And right now, this video is basically what I'm doing on top of the plastic paper using acrylic paints. And right now on this image, I am using all kinds of colors in order to make the image look splendid with colors. And as you can see, I'm using brighter color underneath the darker paints in order to give more brightness into the image. And I just want people to see beyond the artwork, beyond the prettiness of the artwork. And this was the actual step now. So using acrylic paints, I have drawn the letters on top of the plastic after I flipped the page. So for instance, this is life, and you can find the letters in the image. And right now, I'm writing L, and I'm writing I, and I'm writing V, and I'm writing E, and it means leaf. And for this one, I'm writing L, I'm writing U, I'm writing C, and I'm writing K, which is luck. And for this last one, I'm writing L, I'm writing I, I'm writing G, I'm writing H, and I'm writing T, which is light. Everything starts with L. Revising, so I'm looking back on those art pieces and revising in order to make those of them to be more splendid with color and fine. And beyond this, I have used this plastic plate for the acrylic paints, like paintings, and I thought it was very pretty after I like finished using the acrylic paints. So I have cut it out in pieces, and I'm using them to in order to connect each of the artworks. So they're like the bridges and exceeding. So right now I'm using these pieces that I have cut it out to connect these four artworks that I made. So I'm using these pieces as a bridge for each one of them. And it was very fun activity because you have to like lay out things out and you have to design how where the pieces are gonna be. And yes. So right now I'm working out to lay out things out and yes. And I think my goal for AP art is to create whatever that comes up in my mind, because whatever whenever I do something that came out in my mind, I never regret. And this was one of my artwork. I know that this artwork is not very like pretty and like impressive or realistic or anything like that, but I really love this artwork because this artwork really shows who I am, what I'm thinking, and how much creative I can be under the topic of words in art. And these are the overview. And I'm just checking if things are okay. Just trying to check one more. And later on, with the recommendation that Miss Kelly gave me, I have put it on top of the yellow board. And I think this yellow background gives more usefulness and more excitement into the artwork, which am very happy about it. And as you can see, this is basically a final look. And from this project, I learned a lot of things. For instance, I have learned to adapt a real world into a art piece, and this topic has inspired me to be creative, and I was very surprised that I have found a way to like combine words, text, and art into a one piece. And yes, and also I have learned to use many medias as I can. So for instance, for this one, I have used acrylic paints, I have used pens, I have used plastic paper, and I have used photographs, and I have also used the palettes that I was using when drawing a acrylic paintings. And overall, I'm very happy about this project. And I named this artwork as Live a Lucky Life Full of Light because I have used all of these words in this artwork, and I wanted to give out very positive meaning throughout this artwork. And basically, I made this artwork based on the real life that I'm living in. So I wish that everyone's to live a very happy life. And yes. And this is the end of the video, and thank you for watching.